Hi, this is Peter Darts Clairvoyant here, and I'm doing your astrology reading here for Capricorn, April 2020. So that's Capricorn, April 2020. Now, it just feels though your Capricorns are feeling a little bit hot-headed at the moment. It's almost like it just feels though you're not frightened to speak in your mind. It could come in a calm way, but it could also come in an abrupt way, depending on your mood at that particular moment, time, or day. So it just feels though you've just got to keep an eye on this and try and keep it in check. And sometimes you'll have your valid reasons for feeling a bit frustrated and speaking your mind very directly. And then other times it could be just something that winds you up, like the children, and it just like you just sort of blow and snap a little bit. So you've just got to watch it a little bit. So like I say, sometimes you're okay with it, sometimes you're not, and you could upset other people. And what you don't want to be doing is escalating it in the home, as otherwise it's going to cause, some real fun and games, especially around your children or very close family. And partners. So just watch this a little bit. Okay. But I also feel so as well, you are getting a little bit bored and fed up. It's like I feel so you like to be out doing things and making things happen a little bit, and you feel stuck. So you're just going to have to get your creative inspirations going. And it may be a time to sort of think, well, all those little jobs around the house that I've wanted to do and I've kept on putting off because I wanted to be out, or things that I need to do with children, or sort of connecting with the children a bit more, a bit better. So it's like I feel so you can do things, and I just feel so now you just need to sort of put all these things down on paper a little bit so you don't forget them, and then gradually you can implement them and tick them off. Now don't get me wrong, some of these things could last quite a while, and some things you could get perhaps done and dusted in a day or a week or two or whatever. So you'll have to sort of keep focusing on moving forward and sort of trying to make things happen. But don't feel like you've got to be stuck in consistently. You can get out for a little bit. You can go for a walk the dog, or whatever it may be. So I just feel as though you just got to find ways of just letting your frustrations out in a very calm, methodical way if you can. But I know sometimes it's easier said than done. But I also do feel with you as well, for one or two of you, you are sort of getting a little bit sort of fed up with life anyway. And I feel like this sort of lockdown can sort of really emphasize that even more and sort of make it worse, or sort of escalate that feeling forward, if you know what I mean. So I just feel as though definitely I can see how things are kind of winding you up a little bit at the moment. So I just feel as though you're going to have to start to really think where you want, what you're looking for, whether it's career, relationships. Do you want to be where you're at? Is it time for a change? Is it time to move forward? These are things I feel as though you've got to really look in. It's like I feel as though in times like this, it can be a really testing time for your sort of family or relationships. It's like, you can even break the best of relationships, but it certainly can break a bad relationship, or a bad connection with somebody that you connect with in the workplace or in family. So I just feel so you've just got to be very careful. Sometimes you need to try and think before you act or you say. So in other words, take your time a little bit. Think about what you're doing and how you're going to sort of put those thoughts across the people that you need to connect with. And if you know they're completely winding you up, then just sort of take a little step back and just think, well, how can I get my point of view across without escalating this situation? And then as you do that, you'll come up with a plan and you'll work it out quite nicely. But like I say, some of these thoughts and feelings are going to be very true, and you can't just keep biting your tongue. There's something you're going to have to do about it. So in other words, something fundamentally has got to change, or you've got to get out. And this is what you've got to look at, which way it's going to be. But whichever way you do decide, it will be best for you. It might not be best for everybody else, but it certainly will be for you and your well-being. And also, when you make these big changes, whether it's getting out or fundamentally changing things, it's not just good for you, it's good for them as well. Because think about it, you keep losing your cool, it's going to be winding them up as well. So it's holding them back as well. So I just feel, so don't worry about what they're going to be thinking and what they're not going to be thinking. Think about the long-term impacts of everything that you do. It will be for the better. Just think, is it better having a calm sort of connection, or is it better to be rowing every day? And this is the way you've got to look at it. Okay, but even when you've got these thoughts and ideas implemented, it doesn't mean you can perhaps do them straight away, because you've got to wait for, to be able to get out there and implement these changes, and you can't. But at least up here, you've sorted it out, and that will be good for you. And it actually will probably calm you down, because you know you've made your mind up. It's just that you can't do it yet. And yes, that can be a bit frustrating, but at least you know you've sorted it. You're not in limbo. You're just waiting. You're just waiting to sort it out and implement it. Now, when it comes to career, I can feel like sometimes you're a bit sort of set in your ways, a bit stuck, and that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But when you do put your mind to something, you do it quite well. So I just feel as though now you need something that you can be settled in, something that's going to give you the sort of income that you're looking for, and something to kind of challenge you within your capabilities. And then I feel like as you find that connection, you want to keep it going, and perhaps even find something where I feel as though you can perhaps move up the ladder if you want to. It's got that opportunity so you can move above the ceiling where you feel so you've put above yourself. So do look for opportunities like that. And if it's where you're at, great, sorted, beautiful. Just focus on getting that promotion or something, or work towards it. But if it's not where you're at, then start to look at what you want to be doing. Ask yourself, do you need to do some study or training? Or do you want to do something for yourself? Because sometimes you're very capable of doing it, but you shy away from it. And this could be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Just think, if you can't go to work at the moment, and then you've got time in your hands to set up a business, there's never been a better time to do it. Yes, it's difficult times at the moment, but somebody out there spending money, so especially if it's an online business, you could really get this off the ground, and you've got 3 or 4 months to get things going, and before you know it, you could actually have an income coming in. So look at these opportunities. These negatives can turn into positive opportunities. So it just feels though life doesn't have to be as stuck as you think it is. There are exciting times out there now, and all you've got to do is just implement it. And all it just takes is a little bit of will, a little bit of passion, and a little bit of empowerment. And those 3 things coming together can just change your life dramatically. Right, when it comes to relationships a little bit, it just feels though there's a little bit of a tedious connection. And I just feel like those of you that are sort of born at the beginning of your star sign, I just feel as though you're wanting change. So it just feels though now you've got to try and get that change from where you've got. But if you can't, then maybe it's time to look for pastures new. So do a little bit of analysing, perhaps try and get the changes. But if you can't, then you know what you need to do. And those are born towards the end of your star sign, I just get the feeling you're kind of okay, you're not in a bad place, but there's just little things you want to tweak. So just get them sorted and you'll be feeling great. And those of you that are single, I just feel so just wait. It's not the right time to focus on relationship at the moment, but it certainly is time to focus on other things. And I feel like before you know it, as you get towards the end of the year, then I feel so things will be nicely moving forward emotionally. But I'm not saying none of you won't sort of find somebody at the moment, but I just feel so generally, if you can just sort of cast your thoughts elsewhere, it would be a good thing to do. But hey, you've got to do what you feel so is best. So just try and get it sorted like that, and I think you'll be well on your way, so to speak. When it comes to with family, I just feel as though family's okay. 1 or 2 of them need taking care of, just keeping an eye on a little bit. And also, one could be thinking about some kind of move. And that move also could be something to do with moving nearer to family, or some kind of sort of place where it's like I feel as though we could be looked after. So see where that's coming in. But I'm also being drawn to 1 or 2 of you amalgamating properties or finances. And I think that's quite interesting. But just make sure if it's going to be a very small house that you're going to be amalgamating, then I just feel as though you've got to make sure you can live together quite nicely. But if not, then you've got to try and get your tolerance right. But if you've got the money, try and look for something where it's a separate property or it's a big house and you've got the space to give yourself both space, because I'm being drawn to family or money and property being amalgamated, coming together. I know obviously we can't put two properties together, but it's finances and money, house living together. That's what I'm trying to say. So just see where that fits in as you move forward over the coming year or a bit further. Okay. When it comes to finances, I feel as though money's fine, but I feel as though there is more wealth coming in the future. Obviously, some of it's going to be just a little bit, and some of it's going to be vast sums depending on life situations, as we're all different. But I just feel as though it varies for all of you. But I just feel as though it's quite good. But also, I do feel as though you as individuals can definitely increase your incomes, whether it's through work and career, making savings, or sort of going with those grand ideas and making things happen for yourself. So it's an interesting time with finances. And again, with amalgamating sort of properties and wealth that way. It's like it just feels though it's a very interesting period in the universe for amalgamating. So see how that fits for some of you. But overall, finances aren't too bad. And I just feel so when it comes to health, I just feel so just keep an eye on your arm, keep an eye on your shoulder, and just watch your slip hands a little bit. It's just feels so a lot of things are going on in your thoughts, and there's a lot of thinking going on, and it's like I feel so you're a bit restless with thoughts and ideas at the moment, but it will settle, and you will settle, and you will start to get your sleep sorted as you move forward. Okay. Right, and around the home, I just feel as though, again, I've got changes, sort of looking at other people's properties, and some of you will be thinking about a move, but I just feel as though just do what you've got to do there, and that should work out quite nicely over the next coming 12 to 18 months for you to do with property and growth and money and finances and family. Okay. So overall, things are looking pretty good. And when it comes to children, I just feel as though try be tolerant over children. I just feel as though connect with them, help them, try and get themselves sorted and settled. If they're getting bored, I feel as though you've got to get your thoughts going of things that you can do to sort of keep them moving forward and motivated. And I just feel as though one of you, two of you may be thinking about bringing in a new child into the world. And I feel, yeah, that's great and it's wonderful. But ask yourself, is it the right time? I know obviously you'll be moving forward, so it's 9 months down the road or whatever it may be. But I just feel as though, is it the right time at the moment to be implementing it right now? Is there other things you need to be doing? Because it is a gradual progression. It isn't just in 9 months' time, it's the build up to it. And I just feel a lot going on. So I think if you could perhaps push it forward 3 to 6 months, it might not be a bad idea to do. But obviously, do what you feel was best. I'm not saying it's wrong, but just think about it. And I'm sure you'll come up with the right decisions and choices there for yourselves. So overall, things are moving forward quite nicely. So just keep your thoughts in check, keep your ideas in check, focus on your goals, don't stay still, look to the future with a bit of optimism, and you should find things working out quite nicely for you. So I wish you well, I wish you success, and stay safe, and thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye.